Welcome to Flippin Property.
Now it's time to start putting it back together.
In this episode, we'll be putting in plumbing, electrics, plastering, putting the walls back, and even starting the garden.
With Ziggy's help.
Ziggy was much more animated the day we did the garden planning, wasn't he?
Well, he likes doing gardening, don't you, darling?
Yeah. But we had to lay out the whole plan, didn't we, with the sticks and everything. Do you remember?
Yeah, but it's a really good way of actually feeling how the space is and how it's going to work, as opposed to guessing.
Yeah, true.
So, and I did very well organising.
Yeah, I remember you directed me with that shovel very well. I started using that shovel so we could find out just how deep that gravel was and how much soil we were going to have to infill.
I thought you were just being Bob the Builder.
Well, you were very good at directing me.
As always. That's my job.
So I wouldn't normally use a shovel. We've got people for that.
I know, but you did very well, getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, if you remember, we were just trying to set out where that fence was because it was so important to get that fence in the right place.
After all that planning, deciding where the garden was going, where the fence was going, how accurate and specific we were, did it end up where we planned?
No. I changed our minds. Never again.
Always a bad move.
Are you asking for my design input?
Not exactly. Just a comment will do. I might ignore you completely, obviously.
Yeah, fine. Okay, but I like them both. But I think shake it because it's got a bit more going on. Any chat today?
I'm just making you build your muscles up. I don't think the grey Luna. Do you?
Which one's that?
The one on the floor. Don't do that, I've got to get it back.
Forgot about that.
So I think it's either that pale grey, which is what we did in Low Banks, and actually that was quite a small dark kitchen, but it's a bit more traditional looking, or that's ultra modern.
Which one's cheaper?
They're the same ish. Luna might be a fraction cheaper, of course you'd have to buy handles for Luna. I prefer this one.
Just arrived on site to see what the progress is. Looking forward to seeing something. There's been a couple of days now where I've not been to site, so I'm hoping there's been a lot of ripping out done. I can see behind me a big pile of rubble, so that's a promising start. Nobody on site at the minute, they just disappeared to get their lunch. Builders always need their lunch. So let's have a look inside and see what's been going on. Looks like the bathroom's arrived, which is good news. As we saw the other day, a lot of wallpaper's been stripped out too. So stud work, or at least the studs have been delivered. I can see some door casings, so we even remembered to take out the door casings so we can reuse the door casings as well, which is absolutely great news. So just looking round, what else have we got in here? Oh wow, excellent, that's great. So we've now got the stud work up, the skeleton, to see where the utility room will be in relation to the kitchen, so I can get a real sense of it. So that's good to see. It's also really good to see how this is shaping up from the point of view of entering into the kitchen diner. So we can see exactly where the door's going to go, and it's going to be a massive kitchen diner. It's going to be really, really nice. And it's really, really light as well. I'm loving how much light we're getting into the property as well at the minute. So this looks a bit precarious. I think I might walk around the other way rather than going underneath that. That looks somewhat balanced. So back through into the bathroom and bedroom area, and again, excellent. So the walls are being demoed now for the changes that we're making to the layout. So coming down the hallway, the plan has always been to reduce the size of the bathroom And that's really good to see actually. We can now see the timber on the floor. That denotes where the new wall is going to be. So we've still got a decent sized bathroom, and we can see we've marked on the floor where the bath is going to go, so that's roughly giving an idea where the bath is going to go, and also the sink there on the floor too. But by moving that wall across, doesn't seem a lot, but we've gained probably 400 millimetres in the size of the bedroom by 2.5 metres. So suddenly this bedroom has become a much bigger bedroom now. This other second bedroom is now going to be a much bigger second bedroom. They've chopped this wall back all the way to the return to the kitchen, or utilities it's become. So there will be a little bit extra that we're going to build out across there. So it's actually really good to come into a property where there's no disasters, assuming that lintel doesn't fall down, because I was slightly concerned that I was going to walk in and I was going to find another problem. So great news all round.
I'm so glad when, was it Northern Electric or Power Grid, whoever it was, came up and everything was so hunky-dory.
That's what they said. Turned out the electrician had to change everything about the supplies to the bungalow. So yet again, another surprise with this property.
Well, hey, we finally caught a break on something. Sarah from Northern Power Grid's been up this morning and confirmed that the supply to the bungalow is absolutely fine. We do need to make a few alterations to how it comes into the barn, which is the adjacent building. But finally, we've caught a break. Nothing that we need to change about the supply into the bungalow. The consumer unit itself needs to change, but that's the internal electric, so no big deal. So yes, at last, this project, something's gone right with it.
How wrong can you be?
So we've just stopped by today to have a quick look, see what the progress is. A bit of a surprise this morning with the snow, but thankfully that's cleared. I can hear lots of activity inside now, so I'm going to go and have a look. I think the plumber's here, the electrician's here, there's loads of vans here, so there's got to be some activity going on inside, so let's go and see. So great progress so far on the project. It's really good to see it. So finally we've got this bathroom wall up. I say finally, I mean it's not taken that long. So we can really understand the size of this bedroom. We'll probably have wardrobes on this wall, won't we? You were thinking about putting wardrobes on here.
We'll put space more.
Yeah, but it's going to make a much better space in here. So, and we can hear the plumbers are in the bathroom right now, that's what the noise is there, but they've moved the plumbing now into the bathroom space, so that'll be able to have a look at that in a minute and see what's going on. Also, these doorways have all changed as well, so the slightly precariously hanging lintels gone now, did you notice? And so we've actually got new walls built in here, so this is all good. Yeah, other progress on the project as well, so all the walls are up, but one side's not been boarded so that we can get the services in, the plumbing or electrics or whatever's going in there. The utility wall up is up now, which is great, so we can see the shape of the kitchen diner. So that's all coming together. Jackie chose the kitchen units last week, which is fantastic. She's now changed her mind, which is absolutely brilliant. Well done, Jackie, thanks for that. So, and we've decided to go for a slightly more expensive range, so great. More on the budget. And we're on with ordering worktops. We've had the glass guy out, coming out to look at the windows, so that's progressing well on that front. I'm waiting to hear back from him when he can get that fitted in. The front door's on order. So lots and lots of things happening. The snow this morning was a bit of a shocker though, because we needed to start thinking about the garden soon. So it's just as well we haven't been ahead of ourselves and planting up the garden, because they would have been completely ruined with the snow this morning. But apart from that, all good and really good progress. So, but I must tell you about the disaster when we walked in the other day. So let me explain what's going on with this wallpaper over here. So what I was trying to explain to you is, you see this is really explain it really well.
Yeah.
So that yellowy colour is the lining paper. is, well, the backing paper for wallpaper. And that's gone directly, see that grey?
Yeah.
That's the original plasterboard. Well, that's obviously plaster gypsum in the middle. So, because of that, it basically tells me the wallpaper directly onto the plasterboard. So it hasn't been skimmed. Which is what I was saying, is like every single wall in the entire place, it's been wallpapered directly onto plasterboard.
Why would anybody do that?
Oh, well, it's saving money, and it's literally papering over the
Not
cracks.
any bloody money, is it?
Well, no, it's papering over the cracks. So literally, we're going to have to smooth this off a bit and then skim the whole lot. Obviously filling in this load of walls and stuff. But, so it's ceilings included, every wall, everything, apart from what we've tiled in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's in a full skim.
Are we skimming that bathroom wall?
Yeah, we're going to have to, yeah. Well, apart from this wall here,
Yeah.
that's getting tiled.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
It's only so the guys know because they're putting on the towel.
oh right, yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah,
So,
yeah, good.
and they need to know about water as well. So we need to-
We're going to have to go and have a word with
Yeah.
the neighbours on that one.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so big hit on the budget. So you might want to rethink the kitchen.
Not happening. Not happening.
Right, fine. Okay, let's go see what's going on around there then.
Where's that come from? Someone just
We haven't got the water turned on, so I've so no idea.
Just a mystery.
A bit of steamer, won't it? They'll have moved the steam around and spilled a bit of water, so yeah.
Yeah. And what's going on with this?
What do you mean what's going on with it? It's coming out, isn't it? But,
Is it
well,
connected to gas supply?
I don't know, well, yeah, that's probably why it's not been taken out, because that disconnecting from the gas first and then just ride it out.
Right. I decided this kitchen looks better than the other one.
Why?
Because there's a bit more about it. Shaker doors generally more popular. I think it will appeal to more people. So I'll hold this. So basically, we're going to have that door now. So it's still light,
Right.
okay? But then we need to have a worktop to put on it. So
Yeah.
one of those two. So, no,
Right.
you hold this, it's heavy, and I'll do the worktop.
Flippin' heck.
I think this on top of here
Yeah.
is probably going to be the better. Well, it's really difficult to tell because that's a different finish.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't really understand what that is. But, oh,
But I think that looks too brown.
well, it's brown, isn't it? That's why it's bloody brown.
It's going to be too brown.
I like it though.
I do, but I'm not sure I like it as the worktop. Swap these over again. I think having the marble and having the marble for the breakfast bar and then putting this on the floor, then I think that will work.
Yeah.
So you're just warming it up from the bottom.
You are? Warming it up from the bottom? What the bloody hell are you on about?
We do the worktop in the marble,
Yeah.
the breakfast bar in the marble, but we do that maybe a little bit greyer than that, but that kind of floor.
Yeah.
So that just warms it up a bit, but it just keeps the darkness lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say but again.
But.
But.
So, yeah. I'm thinking that's probably going to be.
Right, that'll do that.
We've got a white sink as well.
Yeah, white sink, white worktop.
Yeah.
So some great updates this week. Yeah, I forgot to mention the fireplace as well. If you remember, we were looking to try and save this, and we managed to get our own piece as well. So that's going in the back of the car. We can use that on another project sometime. So yeah, first fix plumbing, first fix electrics well underway. Looks like a bit of a bomb site at the minute, but hey, that's the way things go. And the plan is for plastering to start next week, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the plaster go on the walls, and that's a kind of turning point in projects. I like when plaster goes on and it starts to dry off, because then you can sort of start building it back up again, really seeing what it's going to look like. So it's always when you're talking to camera, isn't it? Somebody's making a bloody noise in the background, but hey, never mind, we'll carry on. So yeah, plastering next week, and yeah, I'll check in with some updates with you soon. Watch out for that on the next episode of Flippin' Property. I'm Steve.
I'm Jackie.
If we can do it,
You can do it too. I tell you, I love plastering.
as long as you don't love plastering, but this is at fall.
Oh, how big's that kitchen?
Are we going to talk about it?
You're all about the construction.
The yogurt box.
Exactly. So,